I'm Selena Collins, and today I'm going to be talking to you about men. Specifically about how men describe women in their books. Let's get into it. Okay, so these are from two BuzzFeed articles by Farrah Penn, who is one of the staff writers at BuzzFeed, and I am going to be reading them to you so you can enjoy the way men describe specifically female anatomy. Oh, and our menstrual cycles, because apparently
they're experts.
Okay. She was about to cover her startled breasts. My breasts are startled. Her large breasts rippled in appreciation. Well, I don't know who you've been sleeping with, but my breasts have never rippled in appreciation or anticipation or in any other way, ever. Her butt dipping and spinning, two big round muscles like the rumps of mountain sheep. An odd comparison, I will say. The bathroom door wasn't closed. I'll just give you that lead in. She had to sit on the toilet some minutes waiting for the pee to come. Men, they were able to conjure it up immediately. That was one of their powers, that thunderous splashing as they stood lordly above the bowl. What do we sit meekly? Is that the comparison? Everything about them was more direct. Their insides weren't the maze that women's were, for the pee to find its way through. So you know, our pee doesn't take any different route than yours. You're welcome. The way my nipples stood erect, every follicle on my arms and legs becoming a tiny clitoris. What the? When a male writer thinks that your goosebumps have the same effect, can feel the same things as a special place. I can't say it. I can't say it. Holly glanced at the younger woman now, watched her watch. Okay. Melinda was a natural beauty who paid little attention to what God had given her, and even though she rarely made much of an effort, she always exuded sexiness. Oh, okay. Have so many feelings about this one in particular. Why do we have to go through an immense amount of effort to be considered sexy so that this would be, even though she doesn't do that? Why do we have to do that? Tell me you're a sexist pig without telling me you're a sexist pig. And yes, I'm going to quote TikTok all the time because I live on TikTok. Her breasts were like pillows of dough and her ass was like a mold of gelatin, wiggling with each step. That makes me wonder if he's ever felt. And by the way, this is the side of my chair. My booty is not quite this large, although that would be kind of cool. Let's go to the next one. The girl had a tiny purse tucked into her
vagine,
just big enough to hold her driver's license, a credit card, and a few bucks. I'm sorry, what? A tiny purse? Wow, man, I could have gone to all those concerts without holding a bag. Lost opportunity, ladies. Noelle rolls her eyes. I think her breasts roll in sync with them. Girls' breasts are so amazing. Yes, they are. And they are amazing. They're sexy and beautiful, and they also feed babies. I don't know if you knew that. Oh my God. Her body was kept up well. I'd known that her breasts were large from the time we hugged, but they were larger than I'd even thought. They must have gotten in the way during battle. Has he never looked at pictures of Alexander the Great? Widely believed to be Alexandra the Great, because we have things to, hide them and push them down and make sure they don't get in the way. Her whole body was soft, though. It was hard to believe she was capable of such power in a fight. Really?
Really?
I don't know whether these amuse me or just piss me off. A little bit of both. Okay, I can't say that word. I don't like that word. I do not like the 4-letter C word for the female genitalia. I think there is no time that's ever an okay word. But her blanks sloshy sounds became increasingly slushier and slushier with each passing second as his hand it was an odd sound, a sound that if no one did not know better would have been indistinguishable from hot macaroni and cheese being vigorously turned with a wooden spoon. Well, we now know where WAP came from, right? Okay.
This one's not problematic.
She was talking to an adolescent who was at the age when a girl can seem too voluptuous for her years, having womanly breasts and hips, but the face of a child. I'm sorry, that's just disgusting. That a man thinks that, oh, a girl's, not a woman, a girl's curves are womanly, but she's a child. No. She's developing. She's an adolescent. She does not have womanly breasts and curves. She has the curves of a child. Ew. I'm glad I don't know what book that came from or what author wrote that. Okay, lighter. She has breasts that smile. Can you imagine? Oh my God. She stood slim in a long green velvet dress and green high-lace pointed shoes. Her wonderful bosom looked like jumbo popovers. Popovers? Okay. Oh, this is the long one. I think this one is just gonna make me mad. If you hear it rumbling outside, it's because the recycling truck is here. And I don't want to stop filming and cut it out. So you're welcome for this background noise. Why did, I'm leaving out the curse word because I don't want to have to go in and edit and beep it out. Why did girls have periods? What was actually the point? The instructions didn't contain any answers to that particular question, just the practical matters. His cheeks were on fire as he explained there's how, I'm just not saying a name correctly, to insert the tube and then push out the cylinder with the string attached. Oh, tampons. When she pulled down her knickers to do as he told her, he turned away and said, "Go and do it in the bathroom." She obeyed, and Jerry flopped down in the armchair. He felt dirty. He didn't want to feel dirty in this particular way. Whatever her name is, had begun to develop breasts, and she was a pretty girl, beautiful in fact. She was completely in his power, and an entire scenario flickered through his brain for a few seconds until he gritted his teeth and forcibly ejected the unwanted images. She was his sister, and he was no incestuous pedophile. End of story. Okay, so she's his sister. She's going through puberty. She's becoming a woman. So he teaches her how to use a tampon. He does not understand, nor does he want to do the bare amount of research to figure out why girls have periods. And then she's comfortable enough to pull her pants down and insert a tampon in front of him. And then he starts remarking on her appearance, her breasts, and sexually explicit images before he has to eject them. Yeah, he was no incestuous pedophile. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Next one. Okay, we need some humor in our lives, don't we? Because men are stupid. If you're a man watching this, please don't come into my comments and say not all men. This is not a discussion for you. A woman's strength is in her softness, her weightiness. The aura of the womb is upon her, and the passage between waking and sleep is an open one, involving no loss, expressing the logical balance of life. But a man, with his obligation of aggressiveness, his need to stir and thrust, must always die a little each time he yields to sleep. You definitely know what you're talking about. am looking to see if our trash collector is gone yet. If you're wondering why I keep messing with my hair constantly, it's because I gave myself another quarantine haircut. And I tried to put layers in it, and I'm growing out a side shave too, so like I have less hair on this side in general. And I'm very self-conscious about it. Whatever. I followed a Brad Mondo tutorial.
It'll be fine.
Okay. Her eyes looked like they'd been borrowed from someone beautiful. Interesting. Is she not beautiful? I kind of think everybody is. Like, everybody might not be commercially beautiful according to whatever the standards are at the current time, but like, I think everybody is beautiful. I think you just have to not look at someone as if they're like supposed to be on a magazine cover, because we're not. We're normal people. Okay, new guy's a weirdo, huh? Rachel said out loud, not holding back her rudeness, staring directly at me, saying it like one of those college girls. I'm hot and cool and don't give a f, but was probably molested at some point in my teenage years, so I'm always in defense mode and attack others before they can attack me first. Wow. Oh my God. Like one of those college girls. I don't even know what to say. Like, it's so inappropriate, but it's also so dismissive of like actual women's experience dealing with sexual assault and harassment as teenagers and going on to likely become 1 out of 4 women who are in their lifetime. Ugh. I thought these were gonna be more funny. Really, I feel like this whole video just is like a trigger warning. I'm probably gonna have to do one. If you saw a trigger warning on this video, it's because I had this realization in this moment. Okay, here's another one. But then she would be somewhere at the supermarket, maybe, and she would hear sudden tittering laughter from the next aisle, and her back would prickle. Her nipples would go hard and hurtful. That's not how nipples work. Like, they don't hurt when they go hard, normally. She is not classically beautiful by any means, and she is hardly young. Her off-the-shoulder soft sweatshirt showcases the right amount of her boobs, because there's a right amount. Cool, thanks for the heads up. Like 2 scoops of ice cream, soft and creamy. What is up with men comparing our breasts to food? We got one dude saying it's like dough and our butts are mountain sheep, and another it's ice cream. Her hair is cotton candy, her legs are caramel. Tell me you haven't touched a woman. Yeah, I'm not reading that. I spoke with the count this morning, Logan said when he suddenly silenced as breasts went past. No, not just breasts.
Breasts.
They were perfect, not precipitously exposed, but perfectly shaped. These floated past him, held in a gossamer embrace of fabric, rejoicing to cling to such nubile curves. Cling to nubile curves, that's nice. Logan didn't even see the woman's face. Then as she walked past, the sweet curves of swaying hips and a flash of lean, muscular calves. So, a woman didn't walk past him. Boobs did.
That's lovely.
She was too perfect, too exquisite, too appealing to the opposite sex. She was destined to be a trophy wife. Ugh. A woman this beautiful can only marry a rich man. Her figure, I saw, following along after her, was still too marvelous. Becky has a fine, beautifully fleshed skeleton, too wide in the hips, I've heard women say, but I never heard a man say it. Yes, because women get the idea that they take up too much space because women thought they took up too much space. That was totally our idea. Well, that was surprisingly depressing. This was supposed to be fun. I feel like I bamboozled you into watching this video. I'm sorry. What's up the food? Food being compared to women's anatomy, or just like not knowing how periods work. Women are temptresses. Not that men need to learn self-control and basic anatomy and like what a period is and how our breasts work, apparently. So that's it. That's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed at least some of it. I'm laughing and crying on the inside. I'll see you next video. If you liked it, hit the like button or subscribe, and I would appreciate it because I'm awkward and we're gonna have fun. Because those things go together.